Top Yu-Gi-Oh decks that for some reason no one is playing. I genuinely think that these Yu-Gi-Oh decks are competitive. They boss tier, and some of them even have the merit in this format. Of course, today I'm going to be telling you what I think are some decks that are really good, but of course you can always join the fun. I want you to post down below in the comment section about what decks you think are really good
that no one is playing.
Also, for personal deck profiles, if you guys are trying to see those, I will be putting them up on Patreon just as a special thanks for helping me pay my editors. Without further ado, I won't waste any more of your time. Let's start talking about these decks that are dangerously good. So if we were to break down what are the most popular decks being played right now, it would be Sprite and Tearlament. But to talk about what are the popular things being played is, can you play around Bystials, and is your deck good enough to be able to break boards? There are a lot of powerful boards being thrown out here in Yu-Gi-Oh right now, but fortunately enough, there are a ton of cards that allow you to break those boards, and these decks take full advantage of them. I think personally some of everyone's biggest threats are the Bystial monsters. These monsters allow you to banish light and dark monsters from either player's graveyard, and they become quick effects while you have monsters on the field. This is stupid. I don't want to be here. There's no point though. It essentially feels that if you are playing light or dark monsters, just don't do it. Just don't do it. Chaos decks are on pure hopium right now. Maybe. I'm actually super inspired by that Thunder Dragon deck that topped YCS Minneapolis. I think that Chaos could be a really good deck, especially if you incorporate the Thunder Dragon cards. Now hear me out boys. Those Bystial monsters looking real spicy, but if they banish any of our Thunder Dragon monsters, they will trigger their effects. Also keep in mind the Chaos cards are excellent for being able to break boards. Monsters like Chaos Dragon Levianeer and Chaos Emperor Dragon of Armageddon are excellent for being able to clear boards, which gives us opportunities to go straight for our opponent's life points. Another thing to note is that our Chaos monsters do not activate their effects to special summon, meaning that our opponent just might have to blind use their Bystials to banish our light and dark monsters when we don't have them. The game plan should always be fill the graveyard up with as many monsters as possible, then summon your most powerful light and dark monsters to your side of the field, or use those as extenders to beat your opponent's board. I even think that a card like Archnemesis Escados is huge in this format. It banishes monsters with different types to summon itself, and then you declare a type, destroy all monsters on the field with that type, and then neither player can summon that type to the end of the next turn. If I'm going against Tearlament, I'm declaring Aqua. If I'm going against Sprite, I'm declaring Thunder. If I'm going against Dragons, yeah. The Chaos deck even gets support from Bystials. I think that they can be really good. But if Chaos doesn't necessarily fit your cup of tea, maybe you want something just a little bit more brain dead, I got you. Flundereese not only did come second at YCS Minneapolis, it is time after time again proven itself to be a good Yu-Gi-Oh deck. Uneducated individuals would say it's all about dimensional shifter. Shifter too good. You're not wrong, but you are. Dimensional Shifter is huge at being able to stop some of the best strategies in Yu-Gi-Oh! But if that was the only thing that Flundereese had, I don't think it would come in second place. Barrier Statue of the Storm Winds is a level 4 Wind Winged Beast monster that the Flundereese strategy loves to employ, and you won't believe what it does. It says, you. Unless you playing wind monsters, which last time I checked, Bystials are not, you're not summoning nothing. But if you want to do me a favor, Bystial player, please banish the Dimensional Shifter. You free my graveyard for another one. The last and most ridiculously busted card that Flundereese has. God, I hate this card. But Harpy's Featherstorm is an outright bannable Yu-Gi-Oh card. And for the people that don't know, it allows you to negate all activated monster effects for your opponent's entire turn. Red Reboot don't exist here, buddy. Flundereese might be my arch-nemesis, but I think it's time for both of us to come together and figure out something, because it is a really powerful deck right now. Now, one deck that TJ don't want me to put you on, because boy, we've been cooking in alive, boys. This is crap. I don't even care about no bans that happen to it on the ban list. Punk is a strategy that everyone is sleeping on. With Punk's loss with the banning of Chaotic Ruler and Hockley Fibrix, they won with Punk Jam Dragon Drive. Yo, have you read this Yu-Gi-Oh card? It allows you to add one level 3 psychic monster from your deck to your hand, and then their new field spell card in Extreme Sessions allows you to draw a card every time you pay those life points with a psychic effect. Yo, y'all be doing some strange things for drawing 2 cards. This card just say pay 600, draw 2 cards. It's Pot of Greed. I swear this is exactly what Pot of Greed does. It says it on the text, Pot of Greed. With this in mind, Punks can play a ton, and I mean a ton of hand traps. You are not playing Yu-Gi-Oh! But of course, since the deck doesn't rely on Light and Dark monsters, Bestial monsters are gonna have a really hard time banishing the important cards. My favorite card from the strategy is Punk Amazing Dragon. Being able to shuffle in 3 cards on your opponent's side of the field. Don't go to the graveyard, go right back into the hand or extra deck, and let's keep playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Because Punk is ridiculous. Coming back down to earth, another deck that surprised me was Exo Sister. Now, as you know, Exo Sister is built on when players touch the graveyard more than Yu-Gi-Oh! Players touch bars of soap, but it's a deck that is extraordinary when players touch the graveyard more than Yu-Gi-Oh! Players touch bars of soap. I mean, to be honest, one touch of the bar of soap would be an accomplishment. The Bestial monsters play right into the Exo Sister hands, and they do it fairly well. And you put that with a whole bunch of board-breaking cards like Dark Ruler No More and Lightning Storm to take care of the big bodies that you don't want to deal with, then Exo Sister is in a really good spot. Kind of like the spot that involves Dryer. Huh? What you doing there, Exo Stepsister?
Mom and Dad aren't home.
A card that I know you guys hate is Mystic Mine, and hear me out, guys. It sucks, but Exo Sister is one of the better decks to deal with it. What you do is, after you activate Mystic Mine, you can then activate Exo Sister Carpe. I want to say Carpe Diem. I know that's not it. It's Carpe Diem. Like, they're really trying. As long as you control an Exo Sister X-Seed monster, you can declare any card name and its effects on field is negated, meaning that you could use this card to declare your own Mystic Mine, and then when you want Mystic Mine back on, you know exactly what to do. This card also helps you destroy your opponent's spells and trap cards, so if there's ever a card that is really problematic, all you have to do is make an Exo Sister X-Seed monster and then attack, and then this card will do the rest. It's actually kind of crazy how Grand Creators gave us 3 archetypes that are extremely good. Darkwing Blast did give us an archetype that's also deadly. The Draco Slayers, my guy. I am not leaving that trade. Draco Slayers, my boy. Draco Slayers. Draco Slayers are a pendulum deck, I will give you that. But these Draco Slayer cards, phenomenal. Because the deck is a pendulum deck and consists of water, wind, and fire monsters, they're completely immune to Bestials, but even better, the Draco Slayer deck is really good at breaking boards. Ignister Prominence of Draco Slayer allows you to shuffle a card in your opponent's deck, non-targeting. It's not once per turn. And what I mean by once per turn, if you get rid of this card and bring it back, it's to snack that smile back. I also always thought that Purple Poison Magician is an unfair Yu-Gi-Oh card. It forces your opponent to use an interaction with a card that's already destroyed. You put this in the pendulum scale, they can't destroy this card. It'll trigger its effect. And if you destroy this card, well, you probably already got the effects of something else and they have to negate it. On top of that, Draco Slayers can make some of the most ridiculous Yu-Gi-Oh boards. With having a hand to be able to play on the following turns, I genuinely think True Draco is a top deck that no one is playing right now. And lastly, as a little bit of a bonus, I have one more strategy that I think is ridiculously good. Humi! Mako's deck is actually cracked. It's not only good in Master Duel, it's pretty good in the TCG. Carry these nuts in your mouth when I get this win, boy! The new Karyushin monster says your opponent can only control one attribute that is not water, and if you put on a nice Gozen match, they ain't gonna be controlling nothing else. I love how this deck creates just natural soft locks, and the water monsters are not to be underestimated. This deck can make some really ridiculous boards being an anti-meta control deck, and who wouldn't like to see a legendary ocean be at the top tables? But that is all that I have for top Yu-Gi-Oh decks that aren't being played right now. I want to know if there's some strategies that you think I miss. Of course, if you want to see my personal profiles of these decks, be sure to check out my Patreon, but until then, just click on the next video.